We have Team Principal of Audi Sassel Racing, Vic Maharaj. Vic, I spent the morning with you watching you go through a whole lot of dyno testing on this Audi. What is the main reason for that dyno testing, and what's the ultimate achievement that you try to get?
Well, Gary, in terms of National Production Car Championship regulations, we are limited in terms of boost and in terms of engine performance. However, within those parameters, you want to optimize and run as closely to the limits of the parameters as possible. So we optimize ignition timing, we optimize fueling, we optimize the supercharger bypass valve to try and make sure that we can run as close to the boost limit specified by the regulations as possible. So it's a constant evolution, a constant trying to get the maximum out of the engine. But we're quite pleased with what we achieved today.
Right, now just for those out there, for the uninitiated that are fans of Formula One, etc., they often see a guy running around a car with a computer. And what I watched today was working with your computer, not too much work in the engine. Are you actually setting adjustments within the electronics of the car using a computer?
Well, the regulations allow you that the engine control unit is free, so we run an aftermarket race spec ECU in the Audi Sassel Racing team, and in a couple of other cars as well. We use the live racing system, and that allows us to control every single parameter to within 0.1 of a degree, 0.1 of a millisecond, 0.01 of a millisecond in terms of fueling. So we can control the parameters as we want, when we want, and how we want. And we obviously then put a lot of fail-safes into the ECU to try and make sure that we don't blow the engine. So if the engine temperature is getting too hot, we start to pull back some timing, pull back some boost to try and make sure that we look after the engine, because these engines at the end of the day are quite expensive. You don't want to blow them up. But the ECUs that we run are very sophisticated, and they're race-bred, race-proven, and that allows us to put together all the controls that we require.
Now, from the administration of national production cars, is this the same sort of format you use to control the various boosts and the various spec of the different cars to try and keep the racing equal?
Yeah, we try and control it. The teams have the ability to adjust the boost in terms of the engine control units they use. We do use a boost logger that's the same spec for all cars, and it's the same unit, because obviously in terms of the sensors that you use, in terms of the engine control units you use, there could be slight differences. So your 1 bar of boost might not be my 1 bar of boost. So we use a common boost logger which logs from the cars. It reads the same across all the cars. So your 1 bar of boost is my 1 bar of boost on that boost logger. So therefore we can compare across cars and across platforms, which then allows us to make sure that the balance of performance that we use in production car racing is correct across all the cars.
Vic, thank you very much for your time and allowing me to share this.
Pleasure. Thanks, Gary.